Hello, and we're back. We did a little one a little earlier, doing a, doesn't have a title yet, but did these trees or whatever. And it's like 3:45. I have another, I'm gonna be here another hour today, so I don't need these. It's me Bluetooth headset, isn't it? Okay. Let's see my pocket. Alright, so you want to do some more painting? Yeah, they're still kind of mucky from before. Yeah, you can see everything, can't you? A little squirt here. Clean up a little. So, I don't do any pre-mixing. This is second pass and will be final pass, I believe. So, I like what we have. Let's open up Corot. There we go. Nice. Yeah, so how are we? Where are we? See both? Yes, good. Pretty close, but okay, now one thing that's really going to sell this is a bit of glazing. That's too, it's not going to work. Ah. Blue tack. A miracle. Alright, transparent earth, yeah, we have some there. We use that. We need, make sure you're cleaning your brush. Two things. We're going to do some of this. And even though this is sort of an opaque color, we're going to put a little in that. So I want it off in that sort of territory. And I don't want this to be a super heavy glaze, so I don't need a ton of paint. I want more of this. This is actually going to remove opacity from our darks. We don't care. We'll restate those darks. Yeah, let's look at some of this jelly stuff. Yeah, that's gone. But in our bottle, it's still there. It's all gelatinous. Whoa, that is goopy. So usually if I'm doing a glaze, I actually get a good chunk of oil in there. And like, alright. Now, like I say, it's bubbly, but we make it work. We just push on it. Yep, like that. Two sides of this paper towel. One's a little smoother than the other. I think that'll move us. So we'll start with the glaze. You can see now. I really want you to pay attention. Oh, we're gonna zoom in. I think it's hard to see. You see me do the glaze color, so well, good enough. I want you to notice how it'll transform the blue more than the yellow. See? And that really gets us off into a much better match of what Corot did. Now the other thing that strikes me, I haven't really done this before, is that I'm going to take that mix we just did, I'm going to add a little bit of this white to it. I'll show you. Oh, how about that? Can you see that? Yeah, add some white to that. Why am I doing this? Because I'm crazy. I'm mad. I don't know. The idea just popped in my head. I just popped in your head. To tell you the truth, because we've done a layer of the liquid, we could wipe all this off like it never happened. Yeah, I like that. Now we'll keep some of that thin mixture on my palette because I want to look more to the sky. I'm going to zoom in because the mixtures that I'm doing are not so critical, folks. The real critical mixtures were in the early stage of this painting, so that's another video. You can find that on my channel. It's not going to be that far back. This brush from last session, still good. Yeah, it's basically just got some yellow in it, so I'm going to go into this kind of transparent earth yellow, cad yellow, orange mixed in with oil, and just bring in some white, and then a touch of gray, because I want a little lighter version of that gray, but I want it definitely informed with that yellow. Yep, that's pretty. See, that's really helping to sell it. Very thin. In some areas I want a little more gray. A little more gray, like here. It's got a lot of that yellow in it, don't forget. If you just put the straight up gray on here, that's too facey. Very light touch, because this is the thing, and I talked about this in the last one. Really easy to overdo things when you put them back on the easel. That's why a lot of times I'll hesitate. Unless I have a good plan, I know what I'm going after. That's just too much. So I know what we're going to do. Get rid of it. Now it's good news when, like, I could have left this painting in the state it was. I think it looked good. Going into the raw umber. I really like raw umber up in skies and stuff. And you're going to see, because it's going to flatten and kill that. It's also creating a bit of a gray itself. And giving me some subtle darkening back into our Mike's gray. So what we had was strong. I think that's great. But down at the bottom, I want more milk. That's what I was sort of after with that bit of white. I want more milk. Milky quality. So I'm going to get that. This is dry brushing I'm doing now. Just using the side of the brush. And then he's got some areas where more of an interesting, like, pale lemony yellow, so I'm going to go into the cad yellow, going into the white, and then I got to pollute it with some of my other mixture. I'll show you. So I'm polluting it with this. I went lighter than that, so the cad yellow is a pretty strong color. In fact, I might just switch over here, but I kind of want this, like, lemony highlight. I find that I spend a lot more time on these highlights than I do on almost anything else. So, like, there's a spot here. Just, was a little one-dimensional. I think this is adding some interest, and we can just pick up peaks with our dry brush. By the way, if you haven't liked this video yet, could ya, would ya, won't ya be my neighbor? You can always back off of the dry brushing. If you get a spot you don't like it, take that down. Yeah, I'm liking that. Was a good call. And that milky. And so again, not going after exact copy of Corot, but riffing on old Corot. He was a man. Here I want to bring in just a touch of that orange. See? Just a little bit. And I'm looking for the bar phenomenon, which happens to me all the time. Super thin paint there, by the way. And down here, this is related. Gray. Too much gray. Umber, gray. More of that. Killing the gray. Flattening the gray. Here. We need a lot more of that umber. You can just visualize me doing that. You know what raw umber looks like. Quite a lot more. I like when I do all that and I put a note down like that and it still seems so bright, and it tells me nice. So your painting approach on second, third pass, whatever, different than your painting approach on the first pass. The first pass, there's nothing there, so you got to make everything up. Here, you're really trying to keep a lot of the good things and augment things. That's too much. Also, because everything's dry, super easy to. Oh man. Actually, I'm going to go into my, make sure there was a little bit of that cad yellow, because this is too facey back here. You see, I got a plan though. The plan is to overplay it a little and then wipes off. He's got little towers and all sorts of little nice doodads he did back there. I don't care about any of that. I'm not doing any of that. I mean, you can go after these things, but these things aren't going to make the painting better, so you got to keep in mind the scale you're working at, which is pretty small. And I mean, if you can pull these things off comfortably, that's the other thing. If I can't do it comfortably, it's just going to be an uncomfortable painting. And so we have the greater issues like, what are you doing and why are you doing it? Well, you're creating a beautiful painting, even if it's a study after Corot. You want it to be beautiful, and you want people to want to look at it. And when they look at it, you want them to get that really good feeling you get looking at beautiful. Well, it's really strong, but back into this little mix I have here. Go kind of vague. Into the ochre, so I don't want things too bright. This, what I've laid down might be too bright. I like it though, I like the yellow there. He's got a little flecks of this and that there, we're not worried about that right now. This color might work here, a little bit of black. Yep. So where are we at? What are we doing? I was tempted to get the T-square right now, but I don't think it'll help me. I'm going to rely on the fact that I know it was square at one point. Find the squareness. It doesn't need to be that square anyway, it's kind of amorphous. Like that. Like that. Look how much I can wipe off if I need to. Alright, so where are we zoomed out? Oh, you're zoomed right in. Okay. Yeah, that's alright because, you know, like I said, what goes on in the palette in the second pass is not as important. It's a lot of little tiny bits of this and that. A lot of it's very thin. So how many of these do you think I can do? How many can you watch? Well, I can do lots because I find this infinitely fascinating and have no problem talking about it. Which is why I'm a good guy to do YouTube. Okay. Just getting eye-catching bits here prior to. Don't scrape it all down, just relax. Alright, remember this brush? No. Okay, I'm gonna wipe some of this away because I saw a good spot on my towel. I'm just going into the black, so I'm going into the oil, goopy oil, and then into the black. I think I need more black. I don't use a ton of paint on these. Come on. Oh, here it is. I don't need a lot of paint because we can work pretty thin. It's important to what was I gonna say? Well, it's important to make sure you've got real good coverage in that first pass. Here, we can work pretty thin if we need to. Don't work super thin over heavy impasto paint though. So I'm going to take off my glasses here because I really want to accurately judge some of these values. So that's quite thin. Working with the corner here. And what you want to watch out for is that you don't overdo. He had a very interesting tree here, which in my opinion is so much smaller than his that I'm not too worried about it. It has like all these very little thin wispy trunks coming off, like a bunch of them. I'm just going to try and pull it off with the corner of the brush here. Good enough. Some of my placement's a little different than his. It's still good enough. Sometimes when I want an edge that's soft, I'll just do a little circular rub. That, to me, I consider to be, right here, to be pretty much the darkest spot in the painting. And things here get kind of worked in. Look at all that buildup on that pit brush there. For what I'm going to do next, I don't want it. I don't like that off. The back end, but you can see I have a lot less, more control. Kind of just some of this, too much paint. I don't want a lot of paint for what I'm doing because it's kind of just doing some little scrubbly-rubbly. That's a technical term, scrubbly-rubbly. If you had gone to art school, you would have known it. Just kidding. I didn't go to art school. I'm self-taught in it. Okay. Now up in here is not a lot of dark, so don't put it in. And so I'm putting the darks in now because I'm going to be doing some lighter stuff over the top. You can do dry brushing with the dark as well. Very little paint in my brush. Very little. Here will be a good spot to get some of this dry brushing. Tree trunk. This is all very soft. Now the boat, maybe if you, I think I was a really good guy. I think I put this reference on my blog for you, so you want to make a copy of this. can. Hello.
Okay.
You can. Don't try and copy me though. I mean, because you think, oh, I want it to be really great. Like, well, it might be, but it definitely won't be if you try and go stroke for stroke. Again, Corot is weird. I would never do this, but he's doing it. It's a weird push. Oh, you want to see me paint this guy in for yet another millionth time? At least I got them the right size now. Here. Brush. I'm kind of creating a bed because I want to do some other things on top. Ooh, we're loving it. Now I find this area sort of boring here, so I'm going into the ochre. I'm going into the white. I'm going into the, I said ochre, but I meant cad. Going into the cad, going into the ochre, going into the white. And I'm also going farther than Corot. I don't have to do what you've done, Corot. I'm a modern artist. I don't like this line here. So there's a good argument for I'm trying to do every bit of every part of your painting all at once. You know, do things to a certain level. And then move on. So where I'm feeling now is like orangey. I'm going to go into the transparent earth red. And that's too facey and too bright, so I'm going to kill that with some raw umber. I could have done the same sort of thing when I just went too far. Cad yellow. I want a kind of orangey complex color. I want an orangey greeny. Too orange, so that cad yellow will definitely counteract that. Like I said, sometimes you gotta go back and forth a bit. A lot of milkiness, a lot of faux detail, I guess is what I call it. That's me. Ooh. That is down in here we get these rich. I'm going into Mike's green. Mike's green is a combination of black and yellow. There, I just told you. It's on my palette all the time. This is rich. Also a bit orange, It's like one of the richest color passages in the painting. And I don't want to just paint it all in straight, so unless I'm using a very delicate touch, a little dry brushing. There's not a lot of texture in this painting, but quite a lot of texture has been created from that gets some real greens there. And this is not in my limited palette, but I am going for the permanent green light. I'll show you. Permanent green light into this mixture. Look how magical that is. That's why it's on my palette. I don't use it very often, but when I use it, use it to quickly transform greens into something a little different. It's a perfect color. Like that. Now, trees, I don't want to lose what I got there. In fact, things are looking a little patchy to me, but that's okay because Corot would have kind of a patchy feel in this tree. So what I want to do is kind of more red, more transparent earth red. What I want to do is in some areas I just want to make more. So it has patchy because everything is like the size of a brush stroke right now. You don't want that. You want a definite visual variance. And you get some more yellows and oranges on the edge there. Into the greens, into the cad. I'll show you. Into the cad and then into the orange because there's just a ton of orange in this. The cad I'm getting my lightness from because I don't want to go into whites here. You won't get these types of colors. It might be too much. I got carried away. Don't get this type of color with white. I like that. Now I'm going to go into the transparent earth red, which kind of have the same effect as the orange, but a little darker. That's too much. That's too much paint on my brush. And it's too light. I'm just going to go into black because I want to kill it too. I gotta go into a touch of that gray too. I gotta get into a transition-y. Alright. Touch of white because I'm noticing here I kind of want to carve out my tree a little. Easy to do. Easy to do. Yep. Bunch of green stuff going on here. Don't get things too isolated. Always try to tie things back together. Alright, so this almost went into a sky brush again, but that's alright. Back into here. Mike's green, dark. And most all the greens here have to be counteracted with a bunch of red. If you get one thing lesson, leave one thing off of me, watching me, is that you need to put a lot of reds in your greens. That's pretty good. Except I hit a little bit of alizarin crimson there. I don't know. I'm going to go into the raw umber. I just didn't like the colors too. So much there. What am I trying to do? I'm trying to do a green. I want it back into Mike's green to get a proper green. These areas here. It's all so vague. So when it's vague in your reference, feel free to just keep it vague, man. Don't feel like you are going to be the great delineator and arbitrator of stuff, because if it's vague and you liked it enough to want to make a copy out of it, it's probably fine. Just keep it vague. some interesting shapes have been created. I'm just going to knock that back and finish it off with a little dry brush here, back into that. Here into this green I made when going with some orange. Like that, but a little darker. Yeah, some areas here. It needs more orange. Too much. Don't be afraid to make an actual statement. Don't be too mincy. Don't worry so much all the time. Just I like that because it looks like water. Now I don't have my glasses on, but maybe it'd be a good time because we're getting into some specs and details now. I take the glasses off when I want a big picture. My little paper towel is getting me So you don't want everything too brush stroke yet, that's why we're doing a little softening here. Now he's got little areas of little flecks. I think we're at, oh no, the green in here first. Mike's green, a little tiny bit of phthalo green. And you gotta push it into just deeper and then into some black as well. To go over that, I can see in his paint, he's got like these little dry strokes. That's something good. I don't want to mess with it too much because it is definitely not something. Also, I'm going to turn the green in my brush back. I'm going to go back in here. Back in here. Little white. More white. Am I really going to do this? And we're back. Yeah, now we want to do left here. I think I was just getting ready to do flex. You know, if I'm doing flex. Actually, I do see one other thing. Like, there's a bit of a glowy thing he has going on back here. I think I can pull that off. Well, bit of a glowy thing here. And no edge. He didn't have an edge. Not that I'm worried too much about this sort of thing. Glowy. Right here. Glowy. So you want little flecks, you want little points. You're thinking, oh, I'm going to get that dinky brush out, the one I bought, the good one. No, don't do it. This is what you do. Wipe your brush off, get some oil, wipe that off. See how clean that is. Go into your paint. Let's get a little paint. And do this work with a corner. So, more oil. So oil will give us the movement. That's too much. with a light green. I'm not going for every single note. Also, there's some tree trunks he's got there we want to put this in before we say done. Too much. Like the bush that's on a bush, we painted without painting. Like that. These little tiny highlights, that's a Corot thing. I don't get too carried away with it. Need a bit of it though, or you wouldn't get the Corot effect. Now, he has a couple tree trunks. It's kind of more of a neutrally gray. So here, into the gray, into the black, into the Rollumba. And this won't be super thick. It just needs to be like here. And we're going to need to back it up with a dark as well. The dark again, the umber. It's got another one here. Now again, you might be thinking, I'm going to use my thin brush. Yeah. The problem with those thin brushes, like they have their uses, especially figurative. This is actually super complex here because he's got this area where it's actually like a little islandy thing sticking out here. That's not good. That's not it. I lost control. It's like here. It's such a small painting. It's such a tweaky little bit. But I feel like I need to do something there. So it could be vague. It could be vague. I'm not even doing this boat all the way. I just don't feel like it for one. So we haven't lost that good thing we had, but we're getting into diminishing returns. Like we're doing things, but it's not really massively improving it. There's like a line in the boat. Still one. Yes. It doesn't even matter. It's not very wide. Still my dark brush. It's like I managed to wipe a lot of that away that I did there. Just keep something in there vague. Also, there's these little lines here, which into the black, into the oil. You want things to move. You want them to move. You need oil for that. That's still not moving. That's probably not enough paint, to be honest. Whoa. Thicker, mine much thicker, but that's okay. I mean, how thin am I going to paint this? Also, these either got a branch that's coming up here, but or the reflections, or I don't know what, but I want a little bit of it. We can do a little bit. You thought I wasn't going to do that, didn't you? I ain't not going to do that. Well, it's all vague, and the proportions are a little different. And you're going to have this frame rabbit. That tells the story well enough. I don't like bright things in the corners, so I'm going to get rid of that. I do like the vagosity there. Oh yeah. We've got to like that. Like that. Like that. There's a bunch there, but I can't do all those. It's small. My painting is smaller, and so keep that in mind when you're getting all tweaky. It's like every time you tweak, you think, oh, I can just harmlessly tweak this out. No, it's not harmless. It harms a lot of people. Well, not really. I mean, it doesn't harm anyone, but... Okay, so he's got some little flecks here going a little different direction. And he's saying, this is a bush? Who am I to question the master? Who am I? I guess I'm not mixing anything here, folks, just stuff on my palette. Because the marks I'm making are so small. So it's a little facey. I want to be careful on white because I've noticed that I'm wiping good things away. Sometimes the thing to do is just tap. Wipe the thing out, tap some more. Oh yeah. Now, so I've been able to get away with using the same brush for the sky. I'm out of paper towels, oh no. It's this one here. I'm able to use the same brush for both because there's so much red in the greens, it's not really mattering. Just some dry brush here. Just gonna help that along. Get that sort of water idea across. So things that need to be, we're done. I mean, we're done. I don't like how bloppy this is, the shape. Just getting stuff off I need to go into a little bit of white into some sort of neutral. Kind of like faux details, a little different than his faux details, but still. You can fake it, I can fake it, he can fake it his way. And then this has been bothering me here, that's why I thought I'd work my way into that. So into the white, into this, I want it pretty muddy. I think I have just enough white left to do it. Needs to be more of a yellowy type of statement. Wow, maybe I don't have enough white. Maybe I do, I don't need a lot. Dry brush. Dry brush to the rescue. Just want to settle. Oh, you see this line, I created a line here. I don't want to lose everything. I don't want all that. Yep. Notice how few lights he has in his trees, right? This is the thing. A big way to spot an amateur is chimney tree holes. You heard it here. I would say you heard it here first, but you maybe didn't hear it here first. Man, I'm trying not to get any more white out. I'm done with the painting, man. I don't want to get more of this. Yeah. Okay, yeah, so don't overdo the dry brushing. Yeah, we're done. We're done. And straight. The sister to the dry brush is the scrape. Alright. Yeah, like I said, don't want to overdo it. You don't want to choke all the life out of your painting. You better have it rough. You'll be glad you did. You'll appreciate it later when it still has some life in it. You could beat all the life out of it. That would include scraping. Don't get carried away. That spot has been bothering me. I can really... Just jumping out of the can of water. Don't like it. Almost didn't go with a full shadow here. Like it's very subtle. All this is super subtle. Oh, I'm just gonna stick with that. Call it done. The master. My attempt at the master. All good. Gonna have that frame. You saw the frame, and it's gonna look awesome. And if I don't sell it here, sorry, or if one of you doesn't contact me saying, "Oh my God, I gotta have that Corot study," I'll sell it to you for whatever I do 5x7s on my store. I don't know right now what that is, but you can find one. You can send me an email if you want it. If you don't, maybe here at my shop, or I'll get it in the store, or no, it has a frame though. It's done specifically for a frame. So yeah, we want to do something with it. Yeah. Anyway, thank you for joining me today. I'll be back real soon with another video. Meanwhile, please do me a favor. Take good care and stay out of trouble. Did I paint on my thumb? A little bit. Anyway, see you later. Bye.